Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Oh, Shana, Shana, Hona, Iowana, hey, hey. Shana, 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 hey, 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 Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Oh, Shana, Shana, Hona, Iowana, hey, hey. Shana, 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 hey, 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 Shayanaya. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, 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 hey. Take me to the river, hey, 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 hey. Take me to the river, hey, 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 hey. Wash me in the sacred water, hey, 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 hey. Wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, hey, 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 hey. Take me to the river, hey, 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 hey. Take me to the river, hey, 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 hey. Wash me in the sacred water, hey, 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 hey. Wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, hey, Shayanaya. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Oh, Shana, Shana, Hona, Iowana, hey, hey. Shana, 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 hey, 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 hey. Aho Shinawana, Honata, Aho Shinawana. Hey, thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, power and the guidance of the medicine wheel, the four directions, all our relations. Aho Mitakwi Asin, Aho Shinawana. Hey, thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in today. And it's welcome to Chuesday. It's Chuesday. And you get to choose whatever kind of life you'd like to live, however kind of way you'd like to be, good, bad, or indifferent. You get to choose a new way of speaking if you so want. Aho. And I speak to the way we speak because a lot of us speak in a way that's not good for us. And it brings in and it calls in things that we don't want. You know, I hear people say, oh, that's insane. Oh, that's crazy. And they keep using those kind of words. And you know what? They start to fall into the trap of psychosis. Start to fall into a trap of behaving in a way that is unbecoming, that's considered insane and crazy. But if you start to use other words if you start to speak to yourself, of yourself, for yourself in a different way, you will manifest a new way of being, a new way of speaking, a new way of doing, a new way of seeing, a new way of hearing, a new way of experiencing. Hey, and I'm going to talk about the experience, a new way of experiencing. Now, I have transformed, transcended, transitioned into a new way of being, a new way of living, a new life. Into a new soul, I believe, a new soul, within the old soul. So, I used to handle things in a way that was frantic, that was kind of spastic, and I didn't know how to do things in a good way, and I would get freaked out, and I would get flooded with emotion, and I didn't know whether to turn left or right or what to do. But yesterday, and I'm going to use this as an example because you should know, because we all have our examples in our life of the things that we experience, the things that we do, and the way we experience it, right? And not just the experience, but the experiencing of the experience. And I'm going to talk about that as an example. Yesterday, I was just over here about maybe 30, 40 feet away from where I'm sitting at the river, and I was chopping wood. You know, I had an axe, I had a hatchet, I even had a chainsaw, and I was cutting the big pieces in half and then splitting them with the axe. Well, at one point, I hit a piece of wood. Some pieces went flying. I didn't pay any attention. I just went on what I was doing, and I walked up to the house, and I noticed that my boot was covered in blood, and my pants were just dripping in blood. And apparently I was bleeding. So I sat down on the steps outside the house, rolled up my pants, and I had a little hole in my skin, which is probably on a small artery or a small vein or something, and it was gushing. So I called out to my roommate here in Dolores. I said, hey, can you bring me some gauze and blah? This is where the emergency kits are. There's one in the garage, one in the car. Can you bring both of them? Let's see what's in there so we can patch me up. And so we went through that whole process, and it wasn't until this morning when I realized that, you know, I went on Facebook this morning and posted a message about Emma Molina Enriquez, Jeannie Love, and Master Seal. These are three of my master teachers that walked with me for some time as I walked into my medicine path, my healer path, my, for lack of a better word, shamanic path, and they worked with me, and I listened, and they spoke, and I would listen. I very rarely, if ever, questioned them, unless I needed an answer for something. I asked them a question, but I never questioned their guidance and their mastery, if you will. That's why they were my teachers, and I was not their teacher. Well, anyways, I thanked them this morning on social media, on Facebook, and because I was laying in my bed this morning sipping my coffee, just being quiet, and I realized that the reason that I reacted or responded the way, in the calm manner that I did yesterday, when, you know, I didn't go to get all the sky is falling on myself, you know, and turn Chicken Little into chicken shit. I responded with calm and understanding that, well, it was just a little prick in my skin. It wasn't a big gash. I didn't break a bone. There was no bear, no animal, no gun, no whatever. It was simply just, you know, I had an accident and I was bleeding, and Kathy and I took care of it. My friend Kathy and I took care of it, and it was done. And I was pleased with my response, because it wasn't call the ambulance. It wasn't all that stuff. You know, let's go, it's an emergency. No, there was no emergency. There was no emergency. It was calm, it was taken care of, and it was how I do things in this life now. I hope moving forward with my wisdom, with the wisdom that I learned from Emma, from Master Seal, and Jeannie Love. The wisdom that I learned from the Marsh Engel and Deborah, I can't remember Deborah, I can never remember Deborah's last name, but she's another shamanic healer in Los Angeles that moved me along on my path. So here I am, I'm in calm, and I stayed in the house the rest of the night, didn't go anywhere, just kept my leg elevated so the bleeding would stop and blah, 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 blah. Kathy washed my boots. She washed my pants, made sure that all that blood was taken care of. And it was, anybody else would have flipped out. But I didn't. I stayed calm. And that doesn't make me any better than anybody else. Please understand. What it does make me, though, is transformed, transcended, transitioned, transmuted into another way of being, into another way of responding, into another way of acting, into another way of speaking, and into another way of honoring the elders that have come before me and that have taught me. So if you're out there in the world and you're worried about COVID and you're worried about the president and Biden and all this shit that they feed you with, that you feed yourself with through CNN, MSN, ABC, NBC, whatever the FNN that you're watching, try something different. Try finding an elder who has wisdom, not your wisdom, because if you're watching all that crap, you lack wisdom. And people say, well, I want to be informed. There's no information there, not that's valid and useful. There is no valid and useful information in those sources that I just mentioned. It's rhetoric. And when you fall prey to the rhetoric, you fall short of your being, of your doing, of your understanding, of your willingness to be in a different place. You fall short if you fall victim to that crap. And if you feed yourself that, you need to find yourself another meal to eat. So, enough said. So if you're looking to learn how to respond to the world around you that isn't your way, that is in a calmer state, in a calmer way, in a calmer being, in a calmer doing, reach out to me at 818-442-1717. Reach out to me at walkingcrow at sacreddrummedicine.com. Make arrangements with me to come here to Dolores, Colorado, and spend a weekend with me at the river, in the mountains, in peace and in tranquility, away from the television, away from the radio, away from the friends and the distractions and the social media that you flood yourself with. I don't flood myself with those things. I don't flood myself. I give myself good food. I nurture the nature of who and what I am, who and what I have always been. I nurture that nature. So learn to nurture your nature. And if you don't know how to or where to go, reach out to me and I can help you. I can bring you here for a weekend. We can spend the weekend here and we can maybe bring a group of 1 or 5, right? If I'm here, you're here, that's a group. But if there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's a group as well. So let me know. Anyways, I'm going to sing us out. I'm going to smudge you again because you deserve to be smudged, just to clear yourself of all those things. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but there's not as much color on the trees back here as there was last week or 2 weeks ago. They were golden. The leaves were just golden and beautiful. And now we've had our first snow and they have fallen. In fact, you can see some of the snow and the ice on the river. So it's a time of change. It's a time of letting go. Because when your leaves fall, it's autumn, fall, when your leaves fall, you will be bare. You will be naked as the tree that you are. And the tree never sees itself. The tree only sees the other trees. It sees the sky, the moon, the stars, the sun. It sees the other trees. It sees me. It sees you. It sees the ground animals, the birds of the air. The two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlies, and the fish that swim. It sees all those things, but it never sees itself. Be the tree that never sees itself. Be the tree that always looks to the other trees and to the other elements around it to be nurtured and nurture your own nature of being a tree and be rooted and be fruited. Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine, asking you to have a beautiful, beautiful day. hoya naka shine hoshine taho. Oyato. Oh, oyato. Oh, oyato. Oh, oyato. Listen. 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 Listen to her still small voice. Listen as she whispers through the trees. Listen as she whispers through the wind. Listen as she whispers and speaks to your heart. But listen. 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 Oh, oyato. Oh, oyato. Oh, oyato. Walking Crow with a transformational, sacred drum medicine, asking you to have a beautiful, beautiful, and blessed day. Aho.